today.
One chocolate today.
You wear a national state level, you have to run non-sales, wholesale.
Is 9,000.
The only mistake I made, I didn't put her in the registration booth with the
Just this ever-evolving story.
Welcome back to Let's Grow Pulling. I'm Logan Stevens here with the one and only Randy. How's it going, Randy? I think we've got a great show lined out tonight. So let's just get her kicked off. How's your week been out there in Ohio?
It's been pretty good. We finished up farming, finished some more farming up. We started our first rounds of Ohio State Tractor Pullers club meetings last night. So we had some exciting things happen there. So it's going to be a fun, and we have those every night this week. So it'll be a fun week for sure. What about yours, Logan? How are you getting along?
Oh, not getting along too badly. Made the trek out here to good old Indianapolis for this week's National FFA Convention and Expo. So we got some competitions going on this week, and it's going to be a fun week out here.
Well,
Got some high
good.
expectations, and it's going to be definitely some fierce competition. I like
Good.
competition.
Good. Are you getting your national award or anything like that?
No, not this time. Just competing on national stuff. Was lucky enough to have a successful year in vet science, and this is my third time out here to Indianapolis, and we're gonna definitely put on a good show.
Good. That's exciting. It's exciting.
No, that's enough with FFA stuff. Let's talk some tractor pulling stuff. I know you mentioned you had your OSTPA banquets kicking off this week. That means that next year is not that far away.
That is right. That's right. Yeah, the first round of club meetings started last night with our Richland TNT meeting. Jeremy Smith and I are both members there, and there was 28 of us there. We talked about a lot of neat things from what happened throughout the summer and some stuff that we're looking forward to trying to maybe a few rule changes and some little things coming up. And then, like I say, the rest of the clubs get together the rest of this week, and then we'll have an executive board and a full board next weekend. So we'll have even more exciting things to talk about next Monday night for sure. So
I know you mentioned there's always some interesting things being brought up in the meetings. What's been the most fun detail that you can dive into that's not top secret in the world of Ohio State?
Well, we're just I'd say it was the first round of it. So we just talked about, they want to change the way some of the purses are being paid in our classes. And then we talked about some of the semi rules and then the lights, the component chassis in the light class was kind of a pretty big topic that was brought up more so after the meeting. At the tail end of the meeting, we talked about that more so than not, but that's always an interesting conversation, about that, the component chassis in the light limited class. So that's always good. And then the semi chassis, that's always that's a lengthy conversation that could go on until next week for sure. So, but
you guys are definitely a hotbed out there with some of the best semi trucks in the nation. And I mean, looking back on this weekend, talking big diesel power with semi trucks, big old diesels in dark corners, and we saw some very, very interesting things go down there with a phenomenal weekend by the Cummins Killer team. I mean, going 1-2 Saturday night, winning Friday night, sweeping the weekend. I mean, a phenomenal performance by all those guys.
Absolutely, that was exciting. They put that new big whistle on the number 2 truck, right? And that thing was pretty impressive there Saturday night. It put down a pass. So
very much so. A big old statement to more turbos isn't always the option.
Correct.
Or the right answer.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah, for
but
sure.
jumping back,
Go ahead.
no, you go.
No, it was pretty impressive. I think I seen that's a pretty big whistle there. I think I seen a beer can standing up inside of that thing. A picture of that. That was impressive. I don't know how much horsepower it made, but boy, he made a heck of a pass there Saturday night. That's for sure. So
I know Jason said it was about 1.5 bush cans. So
yeah.
that's about as freedom units as you can get with stuff like that.
Absolutely. Absolutely. You are
So
correct.
talking alcohol and bush cans, we're going to bring on Cody Edwards here in a minute. Talk about, I believe, Randy, one of his best seasons to date and a phenomenal performance from the first rounds there in Dragway 42 all the way up until the end of Coshocton. So without further ado, let's bring on Mr. Cody Edwards.
How we doing, guys?
Hey, Cody, how are you tonight?
We're doing pretty good.
Hey, good, good. It's exciting. So tell us a little bit about your what possessed you to build a mini rod and what give us a little story. Give us your background. Where'd you start pulling, and then why did you decide to go mini rod pulling versus mod pulling or pulling 4-wheel drives? Because we know that's a pretty popular deal in the state of Ohio. Give us a little outlook there.
All right. Well, I started brush pulling, 2010 era right in there, and I brush pulled for a while, and I always hung out with the Pierces with the Supermod 4-wheel drives, and went to OSTPA for a long time, and I don't know, I always wanted to do something, and I didn't know what it was, and I always liked the minis because they're pretty wild, and when Ohio State decided to put the mini class in, I thought, well, let's do it. So that's where the journey started there. A year ago at Bowling Green, I met with Brad Corporal, and it was history from there. And this was, I never dreamed we'd have the year we did, that's for sure.
Yeah, we had a lot of fun, didn't we? We went to quite a few places. Give Logan a little rundown on where your first pass on that brand new mini rod. Where was it, and what? Give us a little story on how you got there.
Well, I remember a phone call from Randy and Jeff Hurt. I literally picked the chassis up, and they called me the same day I picked it up, and they said, hey, we're going to Florida in, what was it, 3 weeks, 2 weeks, 3 weeks? And I said, oh, I don't know about that. I just got the thing home. They said, we'll get it. And I had it down at Pierce's there, and we we put the motor in at my place, and we took it down there to finish stuff up. And next thing you know, we are southbound to Clay County and making the first pass on a mini rod.
Yep, a lot of fun down there. Yeah,
It was fun.
Yeah, no was not going to be accepted. That wasn't.
Yeah, I remember. No, we're not taking no for an answer from you and Jeff. That was exactly the words that I got. And I said,
Yep.
well, I'll see what I can do. And they said, that's not going to work. You're going.
That is unacceptable. We're going, so we need to get a couple passes in, but before we take you to Farley, Iowa, and then we took you out there, and you done really respectable out there too. It was a lot of fun.
Yep.
So
that's for sure. Yeah, we bit the bullet and was going to go to Farley. Had never made a pass in a mini, and we thought, heck with it, why not? And we had a good pass for what it was. I mean, that was the third run ever in the thing, so I can't complain.
yeah, we had a lot of fun out there for sure. And then, like I say, then it was, it's been quite a few years since minis have been in Ohio. I don't know that I should have did a little more research instead of driving.
I should have researched that too, because I don't know the answer to that either.
But I should have did.
Has there been a series of minis that haven't been outside of the Grand Nationals there in Ohio?
Yeah, there was it's been, I don't know how many years ago, Logan, but Ohio had minis before. I'm gonna say, I don't know how long ago. Back in the 80s, maybe. I'm not really sure. I should know better. I should know when that is, but I didn't.
Peters would know.
Yes, sir. Absolutely, he would know. But so we then they decided to bring him back, and it was a lot of fun this year. And Mike Summers and Bryce Cullen, those guys got some really good machines, and Cody, they were always 1 and 2, 3. I mean, it was a lot of fun, and with me buying that sled and learning a lot, it was
awesome.
it was it was a lot of fun to have everybody around, and it's a great group of guys, I think. Don't you think, Cody?
Oh
The
yeah,
class?
there was just great class. Everybody help each other. It's like that in all this polling, it's all everybody help each other and everybody gets along until when you're going down the track, it's a whole different ball game. But as soon as you come off, it's back to friendship and everything else. So that's what's cool about this sport.
Yeah, it was a lot of fun. We got to see a lot of places that we normally wouldn't see, and
Yep.
you went to a lot of places that you wouldn't have normally. So yeah, we drug her up to Toma too. So,
Yep. Made a respectable pass up there, really, too.
Yeah. Yep, we done pretty good. And like I say, all the guys that stuck with us in Ohio there every night, Mr. Peters and you guys, and it was a lot of fun to really get to know you guys and to make a good judgment for Ohio. I think it's gonna get better. There's a few other venues that have been talking to us already about next year, so
Yep.
it'll be fun. So, but maybe if we get Logan to make the truck out here, we can.
I was just
we'll keep-
thinking about that, how we could orchestrate something with getting those tractors out there.
Yeah, that'd be a good time.
We can park them at the shop and just kind of dumb around with us for the week, and then we'll go. We go pull in a couple times. It'd be a lot of fun for sure.
Need to catch on a weekend or whatever when we got like 3 in a row or something. That's when it's fun. Yeah.
Yeah, we had in Ohio. We had quite a few Ohio nights that there was 3 and 4 night runs.
Oh,
school
yeah.
nights and all. So, but yeah, we could make it'd be a lot of fun for sure. But it's it's been fun, and like I said, like Cody said earlier, he runs with the Pierces with the blown 4-wheel drive, so that kind of gave you the itch a little bit, huh? To have a blown alcohol motor at something, huh?
Yep. I thought, what better way than to just be 2,050 pounds and sit right on the motor,
Right. Yeah, and then you went on that big Crash Crunch diet to get it down there to where you can make
Well,
it happen,
I know. I remember, I think Brad was really skeptical at Bowling Green, like, oh boy.
Yeah.
And I said, we'll get there. Don't worry.
I 100% know that feeling. We decided that we're going to go full into this mini program, and I dropped 30 pounds, and like, holy cow, we're going to do this thing. So, no, looking at your progression through the season, you guys just laid down constant passes, lap after lap after lap. How's kind of your confidence from your first passes down in Florida and there in Farley to where you are all the way up until the season finale?
I don't know. I made the first pass at Florida, and I like just confident when I got in there, went out there and made an AB pass, and I just felt pretty confident. And then the next night, we did a few things and made another respectable pass, and I was like, wow, a totally different ball game down there. But then we came back and we went to Farley, and we were just kind of shooting in the dark and set up, because you can't go off of down there at all, really. And that thing just would make AB passes. It did its thing. And then when we left Farley, well, we had to make a big decision. We were in Farley. We were like, we didn't get into Saturday night, and we thought, do we stay? This is cool. And we had our first points hook for OSTPA on Saturday night. So we loaded everything up and we just hightailed it back. Randy and Chase ended up staying in Farley, and me and Evan, we hopped in the semi and we took off for Wauseon, and we laid down a win there, and that felt pretty good to start the season off, and then it was just kind of progressed from there, and then we kind of fell apart a little bit at the end. We changed tires, and we kind of got lost in the setup a little bit, and yeah.
Well, stuff like that winning after a long, it makes the drive worth it, definitely.
Oh, it did. I mean, it was something else. Like we literally unloaded, still had to do some things. I was going through the valves, and it was time to tow up, and I didn't even sharpen the tires. I'm not gonna lie. And we scaled in, put some heat in it, and we pulled basically, and that was pretty cool.
No, that's awesome. And so, rookie season, battled through the year running against the top minis there in Ohio and some of the top in the country. Mike Summers edged you out by 2 points with the final drops. You were perfectly even with your totals and beat you by 2 points. But for a debut season in the class, I don't think it can get much better than that.
No, I can't complain one bit. That's for sure.
So looking at it now, is the trailer space there for a second?
It's there, but I don't. I don't foresee. We need to progressively make this one better.
Yeah. Yeah, we know we can get another one in there because the Burgundy Kubota will fit in there. So we know that another Mini will fit, won't it?
Yeah, we know that.
For sure. Yeah,
Maybe you just tow Randy's around.
Yeah.
There we go.
Yeah. Yeah. We'll see. Yeah. We'll have to talk to the pizza shop chick about that. And we're already pretty indebted and pretty
I
involved
say
in
you're
that
pretty invested with the mini sled.
Yeah, we're pretty vested. We're pretty vested in that class, and we're in it. We're in it to win it for sure. You know, like I say, when Adam was on there a few weeks ago, he started. We were talking after he spoke, and then we talked about running the sled and this and that. Boy, I tell you, it's I've never sat in the front in a Mini, but I've sat in the back quite a few times, and it's a handful back there. Or it can be, So it's like I said, you get revved up to go pull one of them, and then I still got 9 or 10 more of them to go. So you get yourself tensed up pretty well. And the first time I did that, boy, I thought I was beat to death the next morning. That was pretty sore.
I'm glad you got to enjoy the wild ride I got for the one this year. I got one wild ride there at 42, and you got to ride behind that one, huh?
Yeah, I did. Yeah, that was that was probably, unfortunately, that was probably the worst pass that you had all year. It just happened, but
It does. And the worst part was that just like with Mike Summers, he had a bad pass. I literally had the silver platter laid out there just to make an A-B pass, and I could have had it. And the mini life, it did not have the same idea that night. It had a whole nother mind of its own.
Yeah, it got a little upset, and then it was on like Donkey Kong for sure.
I was having a hard time letting out, knowing that I needed to get there, but
yeah, for sure. You've probably had those nights, haven't you, Logan, where it just, you think you did everything right and it just didn't go right?
We thought there was definitely a couple nights this year that we thought that we were we had what it took, and I mean, we've been very successful with these CJ Her chassis, but there comes a point in a Mini where you push it too far, and we had one of those wild rides. But no, other than that, that there's the boundary, and it's finding that point to where you can get within an inch of that boundary and still keep that thing balanced on two wheels. If you can drive a mini rod, you can drive any other vehicle out there.
Yeah, you're right. Them blown 4-wheel drives in Ohio, they're kind of a handful as well. Like I said, we've heard that before. The minis and those 4-wheel drives are, a little is a lot, that's for sure. Even Van and Kellogg even said that about the 4-wheel drives in Ohio. So for sure.
A lot of driving.
Let's answer some OSTPA questions real quick. Do you have a minis that?
What's that, Logan?
You're gonna have minis there is that? I don't know. Is that in Ohio?
Croton.
Coshocton?
Croton.
It says a
Croton?
Croton. I don't know
Yeah.
if we're gonna.
You guys
well,
name your
that's
town so weird out there.
Croton is well, we don't. Ohio doesn't. To give a little background on that, we don't. All the promoters pick their classes, so I don't. We've not talked with Croton. We'll talk to everybody the second weekend in on January at Fair Managers, and that's when our schedule will get set. So I'm pretty sure that we're not going to tell anybody no. If we want to go mini rod pulling, we're going to go mini rod pulling for sure. Since I'm on the board, and then so you can really help keep the schedule straight, so we're not on top of anybody, you know.
Then we got David out here. You gonna come to Michigan for any pulls? Are we turning it into the Ohio Michigan Pullers Association?
I don't know. I think I don't know. We went to West Virginia 2 or 3 years ago for an event, but there's a lot of our pullers truly believe that, you know, Ohio State tractor pullers, we stay inside of the boundaries. You know, we've had some opportunities to go outside, but you try to stick right here at home. You know, we got plenty of pulling right here, you know, with what 42 or 43 events, and
And high
but that,
caliber pulling that is too.
and that's not my decision. That's one thing about Ohio State. We vote on everything. The members get to vote on unless it's a safety rule that comes down from Jonathan and Christy, but any of the rules and all that kind of stuff, all the members vote on that, and you know, then and us as board members try to orchestrate it, and we vote on it as well. So to sit here and say no, we're not going to Michigan, or no, we're not going to Indiana, I can't say that, because that's just me talking. But that would all come up to a vote, and I'm sure that there's a few people that be all excited about it, but there'd probably be a few of them that are like, oh no, we'll just stay at home, you know, because like I said, we have a lot of pulling right here at home. So for sure.
That we do.
So Cody, tell us a little bit about this pristine work of engineering here that you call the Racer's Edge.
Well, I kept the name from my old brush pulling truck, and then we kind of always had the red and the design like that, and we just kind of stuck with it, and that's what we did there.
So it's kind of always been based off of tradition, is what you're saying.
Yeah, kind of, basically.
So truly beautiful on the vehicle side of it. So you made a heck of a weekend out this weekend, or this heck of a year out this year. What are you guys kind of looking forward into the 2026 year?
We need to work on the motor program a little bit and see if we can find a little more horsepower, and hopefully we can pick up a couple more Ohio State events. That'd be nice, but wouldn't mind doing some of the ones we went to this year. And you know, we pick a few of the Grand National events to go to, and then basically follow the state circuit the rest of the time.
How many trips down the track did you end up making this year?
I think 18.
Wow. That's definitely a very good season with all that.
Mm-hmm. Well, and I'm trying to think I think it was 18 or 19 passes is what we ended up going down the track. But we had a couple rain outs. Fort Recovery rained out, and
Bucyrus.
Yeah, Bucyrus, and we had one night in Toma that rained out for the minis.
A rain out in Toma. I can't believe that.
No
Can't
kidding,
believe
right?
that one.
No.
It's a
So,
wonder
but
that
yeah,
they
somewhere
didn't-
right around there. Well, and then we didn't get to make the second pass at Bowling Green. We heard it, and we decided that we better not throw it back together. We had a point. We were still holding the lead of the points at that time, and didn't want to risk, you know, throwing something together and then not being able to finish out the season here. So we brought it home and freshened it up right. So
you're
Yep.
going through your season there. You're moved into that first place position in points. did you guys keep pushing for the next setup, tweaking, tuning things, or did you guys not touch anything and like it's working, we're not gonna touch it kind of deal?
We pretty much just had a system and we had notes and we just kept basically to this track, to that track. We just had a setup that we just went with and then that's just how we were doing it.
Yeah. Yeah, and
We were
Evan
just trying to stay consistent. That was the main thing we
Yeah.
were trying to do. I mean, we were going to win, but we were trying to be consistent at the same time, not try to overdo it. And it was working.
Yeah. How many wins did you end up with?
3 wins and I think 2
Yep.
seconds.
Yeah, that's what I thought. I thought it was 2 or 3. I couldn't remember. So yeah.
So that's where we were at. Me and Mike, I think we were tied when we were getting towards the end. We were coming down. We each had 3 wins. And I think I can't remember till towards the end. I think we each had 2 seconds. I think it was, if we were still tied there, it was going to go to thirds to pick the winner if we would have continued to stay tied like through dragway or whatever. But Mike got me, so.
Let's glance over real quick. So I'm looking at the point spread here in the mini class. How's your guys' point system with OSTPA work?
Well, what do you mean? So we have drops. So after 10, you get 1 drop. So if you have breakage or, you can't make it for a family emergency or something, so we had 13 mini hooks. So they would have got 1 drop. So that's why it's sometimes when you look at the schedule or look at the points, how it lays out there, they don't exactly end up that way because everybody drops their lowest number and then that's the total that they end up with.
Okay.
So like the pro stocks had 26, so they got 2 drops, and so and then a few of the other classes got 2 drops as well. But yeah, in Ohio you get drops it's 1 per 10. So, and that's just how they've always done it, and it's for breakage or if you can't get parts or something would happen, you know what I mean? So
That makes total sense with that.
yeah. So yeah, it's good. It works. I mean, once in a while it doesn't work, but 90% of the time it works. And that's why, there's always a controversy at the end of the year. Well, if we hadn't had drops, it could have been this, or if we, this and that, but it works.
Well, and we were almost in that scenario where the drop was actually going to do
Take you
us
out of the
worse.
first.
Yes. But then in the end, it didn't matter anyhow. But there at one time, like maybe 2 before the end, like the drop was actually hurting me. But that's just how it works.
Yeah, because you had good finishes and you were going to drop a 35 or drop a 34.
Yeah,
or
I had the worst I had till the very end, I think, was a 4th place finish that I had to throw out. Well, that was killing me, to throw a 4th place away.
Yeah.
Yeah, so you had to screw one up to save yourself there.
Yeah.
I screwed a couple up though by the end.
Yeah, a little bit.
As you made your travels throughout the season, what was some of your favorite places to pull at? What were some that kind of gave you some trouble?
I don't know. I'd say like Medina was pretty awesome. I got the win there, and there's a big crowd there. That was pretty cool. And Mount Vernon, same way. And then I would say Findlay was kind of the bad one for me because that started off the rugged ending. The Findlay Pass is when it started. We changed tires at that one, and let's just say notes were no good anymore.
You had a respectable pass at New London the next day, though.
Yeah.
So,
We did. We tuned back around, and we did make a respectable pass there at New London. Yeah.
And Jeff was there with he brought one of the hot rods there, and he had both of them. He had them both there at New London, so we had a good show there as well. But and then at Worcester, you guys, you and Jeff were trying to do some change in there, and you did a bunch of work, and then got right down to the end, and the nose on the blower was a little different, so you had to take it all back off and start over, right?
Yep, did all there. Yep, and then we made a really good pass at Wooster. I
Yep.
was happy. I felt like we had dialed back in there, but then we kind of went off. We started using that notes for the last few, and it just didn't work. You'll have that though.
Yeah.
Caitlin says she thinks that the problems really started there when you put the good old hole in the piston. I know holes in pistons don't work too well.
Yeah, it did kind of go downhill after that.
Yeah.
So looking into 26, what are some events that you'd like to hit that maybe you haven't gotten a chance to hit this past year? Or what's kind of some events on your bucket list per se?
I don't know yet. I guess I have to look into that a little more and see what I'm thinking. I think we'll see how the winter goes. I know Randy said something about maybe trying to go back down to Florida or something there in March or something. Maybe we'll see if we can get things around and maybe make that venture.
Yeah, I think just because we've been there a few times and I'm excited. Hopefully we'll get to go to and we'll get to see Logan there. I'm excited to go to Goshen and to Evansville. Those are always some pretty good places
Yeah.
to go pulling. So
Mhm.
for sure.
Chris
With
I'd
wants
like
to
to-
know who is your pulling hero throughout your years?
Oh boy. I'm probably gonna have to say Dave Pierce because I just was always around kind of following him and just, I would say Dave Pierce.
He's got the Stormer blown 4-wheel drive in Ohio. So
Yeah. They've taught me a lot and everything. I would definitely go say that would be who I'd choose.
They definitely taught you well with going down the alcohol side of the tree.
Yep. They definitely helped. Yep.
Yeah.
No, I cut you all off there. You're rambling on about Florida, and I think we're going to have a pretty good spring season this year. Very early start to the season, so it's going to be on a lot of guys to get their stuff ready real quick.
For sure.
Mm-hmm.
For sure. No, it sure is. So, absolutely. Well, Cody, what do you think? You got anybody you want to thank throughout the summer, and anything else you got to say, and then we'll move on. So, what do you think?
I got a part of everything, and you for hauling me up to Toma and Farley there. You hauled the camper out and whatnot, but thank Jeff and Lawyer Lubricants and Steiger Precast and all them guys for being a part of stuff. So,
Well, that's good. That's exciting. It's always fun. It's always fun to go mini rod pulling. That's for sure. It's always fun to go pulling, but it was a lot of fun to go mini rod pulling this year for the first year in Ohio. And it was a lot of fun for sure. So
yep. We got to give Chase a shout out too for being the mini rod class sponsor. You Throwaway Truck Repair. So
yep, and he sure did. Stepped up.
he's gonna
right
have
off
to
the
do it
rip.
again so I can try to redeem myself,
Yeah.
next year and get the championship. So
Yeah. We might have to work on him a little bit. I don't know.
yeah,
We'll
he
have to
ain't
talk-
too hard to twist an arm. We can twist his arm a little.
Yeah, we'll talk with him. We may or may not see him, or maybe even talk to him tomorrow. For sure. He's got one or two of my trucks over there, so I'm sure we'll talk with him for sure.
Oh yeah.
So
I need
all
to
right.
get on the Randy trucking line with this and getting able to have my vehicles personally delivered to every single event that I go to.
Yeah.
He's
never
all
know.
about it. He's
Yeah.
like, I'll haul you down there or whatever. I was like, then my truck was hauling stone or something. He said, I'll haul it. Let's go. Marty can stay and work. So it
Yeah.
worked out a couple times there.
Yeah, we took the farm. We took that old farm truck. Remember?
Oh yeah.
We drugged that old farm truck out, and we went to Toma and Farley with the old farm truck. So
Yep.
for sure, yeah, absolutely.
No, it's been
everything-
awesome
everything's on the way home, you know. So
Yeah.
yeah. So yeah, it's been awesome talking with you, Cody. Thanks a bunch for everything. What else you got, Lo?
Congratulations again on your season with stuff. Very, very respectable. Hope to see you
I,
pull against you coming up this season because that would definitely be a blast. We're gonna have to make
yeah,
a
that'd be
couple
fun.
events out there
Hopefully
to
we
Ohio.
can pull that off.
All righty. So,
Randy will be the glue that sticks us all together.
no.
Yeah, he'll figure out a way to make it happen. He'll figure it
Randy
out.
always figures out a way.
Yeah, for sure.
Uh,
So, all right, Code, we'll let you go. We're gonna get on. We're gonna talk with Eric from Jeb Machine, and then we're gonna wind her up and get ready to do her all again tomorrow. So,
all right, I appreciate you guys having me on.
absolutely. Thanks, Cody. Have a great day.
Yep, you too. See ya.
Hey, yeah, bye.
There you go, folks. Mr. Cody Edwards, driver of the Ohio State Tractor Pulling Association mini rod. Second in points out there. What a phenomenal season for him. Here in a minute, we're going to bring on Eric. I believe it's Weidman. Is that how you pronounce his last name?
Yep,
Cool.
Widman. Yep, I believe it is
Eric Widman.
Weidman. Yep.
Jeb Machine, they specialize in some diesel and other applications, building all sorts of high performance stuff. So without further ado, let's watch some video and let's bring on Eric Weidman. Mr. Eric,
How are you
how
guys
goes
today?
it?
How's Eric today?
Oh, real good.
Hey, good. Glad to, glad you come on. We can talk about a few things and just laugh about a few things and just give us a little background about how your season went this year. You won the region points, right?
Yeah, we've won the Region 2 South points with my truck, and we finished, I don't know, I think I was second in the North, and it was a pretty decent season for us this year. Dad and I go everywhere together when we go pulling, so not a bad year.
Yeah. How many did you and your dad start with Ohio when they brought the 3.0 trucks? I can't remember.
Yeah, absolutely. We ran my truck first for, I
Right.
don't know, handful of years, and then we built his and then followed OSTPA from first year on. And so now we went from one truck to 3 trucks, and my cousin Jake, he runs the white one, and things have just kind of escalated where we kind of run everywhere now.
Right. Yeah, it's been fun. I mean, I've got been with you guys. Used to come up there to Norwalk when I was the promoter up there, and we got to know everybody a little bit, and then a little bit better as the years go on. But you can, how did you get started pulling, Eric? You can give us a little background and tell everyone out there what's going on, how you and your dad started.
Well, like I say, our class is kind of our class is really escalated, I guess you would say. When initially we got started, I actually used to drive my truck to the polls and start participating that way. And then things when we got hooked up with Ohio State in the first years, and we just always wanted to go, quote, big boy pulling with the state level stuff. So we built that and really enjoyed it. Good group of people, good environment when you're pulling like that. And we ended up building my dad's truck shortly after that. And then, like I say, then we built the third truck when they have, my cousin and my uncle, they run it. And it was just a really good experience. We just looking for something to do as a group, and this was it.
Got it. And you do a lot of stuff out of your business is all pulling oriented as well, correct? For the 3.0 class?
Yeah. Like I say, the stuff that we build, everything on our trucks are made in house. Sometimes that's good, sometimes that's bad, but but yeah, like I say, with our machine shop, we in-house engine dyno, engine shop, build stuff, everything we can machine or make for that engine in our building, we do it. and stuff that we can't, we have some good vendors that we use that we try to get the parts from them to keep the ball rolling on everything.
Right. And that's where you've always worked, right, Eric? Right out of high school or during school, you've always worked in that was your dad's machine shop and your uncle's, is that correct?
Yeah, my dad, Robert, my uncle Jim, we started that in 2000 when I was just getting out of high school, and it's all we've ever done, make parts in the barn. And like I say, things have grown with a bunch of expansions, and I say it's just that's all we do. We just go to work every day, make parts on the CNC lathes, mills, and whatever we got, and try to keep the ball moving forward.
Got it. You do a little bit of that same kind of stuff, don't you, Logan? But pretty much for alcohol motors, right?
We do very similar stuff for both. A lot of stuff for the alcohol stuff, high performance between injector stuff, blower stuff, spacers, some head work, stuff like that. And then we're starting to dabble into some of the diesel stuff. Hazley's been a big proponent of that, helping us out with all that. And so, but no, very, very similar to what Eric has going on up there with very pulling oriented and very high performance, high tolerance work.
Yeah.
So you're the old fat guy with the hot rod red dually. Gosh.
Yeah, you see, I'm not petite, so I'm hard to miss. But only a face your wife can love. But no, we've been around for a while with the stuff.
He almost left when I told him back in makeup that this was going to be a beauty contest. So I told him he had to sit there and look pretty, and he about hung up on me. So no. So tell us a little bit about your machine shop. What does JEB or JEB stand for?
I wish it was something cooler than what it is. It's just Jim, Eric, and Bob. We didn't know what to call it, so we just called it that. It didn't really, and like I say, when we started this, it was just I was employee one, let's call it, and now we are up to, I don't know, 12, 15 employees, and like I say, 9, 10 CNC lathes, 6, 8 CNC mills, kind of depends on the day, and handle a lot of weight. I say we probably go through, it's over 1 million pounds a year making oil well parts, and it's like I say, it's a little bit of everything, good or bad some days. But now that we've introduced the engine shop side of things, it's made it a lot more interesting on the stuff that we do there. Kind of break up the monotony of running the production parts. So
yeah,
it's always something different.
Yeah. So I believe that video we played there at the beginning was from either Cloverdale or Shipshewana. What's your plans for doing that again?
We really like pulling indoors. And sometimes it's a lot of work, especially when it's cold outside. But we make a lot of passes, and we don't like to miss a lot of events. We like to represent the class the best we can. There's a lot of really good pullers in our class, good people, good class. And as far as pulling indoors, we've pulled a lot, the Shipshewanas, and we're going to try to make it to the Cloverdale this year with the trucks and see how it works out, what's together and what's running at that point in time. But hopefully that we try to hit those pulls this winter to keeps the edge off everybody, to keep them in a good mood, I guess.
Exactly. So you're saying there you're growing from just a one truck team to all the way up to 3. Talk to us, kind of tell us front to back. You don't have to go into super high detail, because I know that is a very, very tight class with the littlest changes make the biggest difference. But walk us kind of through front to back on what makes a 3.0 diesel pulling truck a 3.0 diesel pulling truck.
Our class is based around an OE setup of, you got to run the factory frame and a DOT tire, factory sheet metal. And we're 8,000 pounds, so we're kind of heavy for what we're doing. But it's based on the factory blocks. We don't run the billet blocks or the billet stuff. It's factory heads, factory blocks. And we get a lot of attention from the people that when we go to polls, because a fella in the stands can say, I can relate to what the truck looks like. And, and it looks like a truck, but that's kind of where it stops, I guess. Nothing is OE about it, I guess, anymore. Like I say, our class has really grown since I've started doing it, and we used to run factory drive lines. Now we've advanced to open drive lines with big rear ends and big front ends, and the power levels grow every year. And a lot of good companies working hard to find power for everybody. So, it's just look at where we started and where we are today. Our class has really changed. I mean, I think for the better. It puts on a good show. Try to be reliable, and it just makes for something different.
Yeah. So looking between your 3 trucks, they were all built at different times, but how similar or dissimilar are they to each other?
My truck and my dad's truck, they're dimensionally identical. Unfortunately, they're built in the same building by the same guy, welding it. My dad does all the fab work on our stuff, so dimensionally, and the white one's a little different. My uncle and, like I say, my cousin Jake, they built it, and they're as similar as what we can make them. And you would feel that we thought we had a leg up when we had the one running and we built the other one to match. That we were very naive and we thought that, well, it'll just act the same. That isn't the case. And with my dad, he's a lot smaller guy than I am, so the weight distribution is different. So it was kind of a help, but not really when we set these trucks up. All 3 of them kind of have their own personality of what happens here.
As for motor programs, with you building all your stuff, I assume they're probably pretty all similar to each other.
Yeah, all of our engines are, I guess you would say, identical. They all run a little different, make a little different power in the curve, but all the parts are made in house. Like I say, and stuff that we have to buy, we buy. But we do the heads, the pistons, the deck plates, you name it. If we can machine it in house, it gets made here. So by doing that, kind of control the quality of the engine and the performance of it is what we try to do with the dynoing all the time, but it doesn't always pan out that way, but we try real hard, I guess.
Yeah. So just kick us off with your first hook of this year and just kind of walk us through how your season went.
First hook this year, we were at Dragway 42 with OSTPA. Got lucky and had early hook that night and ended up winning and started off. And then we did the driving duties for Jake's truck down at the Harvest Barn, and picked up another win in his truck, which was good, to keep him up in the points with following the OSTPA stuff. And, with what we do, we try to break the trucks up a little bit where Dad and I are hooked at the hip, where we got to go to the same place. We share a trailer. So we break the trucks up where Dad and I run more of the regional stuff and Jake follows the OSTPA stuff. So we aren't beating up on each other, but it was a good, consistent season for us. Like I say, we go up the regional stuff up into Michigan. It's just different, not better, not worse. It's just like sand up there. So it's just more of a driver's situation up there. But like I say, for us, the biggest key in our class, it's so tight. The trucks are, a lot of nights you get 2-3 trucks in 1 foot. So it's like little changes, a little mistakes equal to big differences on the track. So it was just, like I tell people, for us, it was just a good, consistent season. Just try to show up, not make the big mistake, and try to keep it up towards the front of the class.
Yeah, looks like here Jacob had a pretty good year, pulling off the 4th in points with the OSTPA. So a very, very good, consistent season, kind of all the way bookended by some great events this year.
Yeah, like I say, the groups that we pull with, like I say, Randy, I've complimented him as much. Every time I can, he does a great job at Ohio State, and then the events that they put on, it's top-notch stuff. And like I say, the regional guys that we run with NTPA, it's a good group of guys, good group of people.
Let's talk about that a little bit. I believe I saw your run there from the Enderley earlier today, scanning through stuff. How did your year on the regional stuff go, and how did stuff go out in Urbana, Ohio at the Enderley?
This year we had, Dad and I both made Enderley, and I won the South, and Dad won the combined. So both trucks got into Enderley this year, which was great. Brian Shue was also there with us. He's a great guy, a great competitor. And wish it would have went better at Enderley. We keep going, and I've managed to get second every time I go there. So hoping that one of these years we can figure out how to put it out front. But great track, good environment. It's one of the tracks when you go there, it's the tracks that you want to pull on. It takes power. It's good sleds, good environment, good everything about it. It was just a good time. Just hoping we can find the way to do a little better there when we go there.
Chris is wanting to know a little bit about some of your tire stuff and explain, because I'm not big with the DOT style stuff. What is kind of the specs of a tire you have to run, and what's kind of the boundaries, and really what can you change with that tire?
In our case, he made the comment run a lower profile. We run 20-inch rims. There's debate, depends who you talk to. Some people say they're great, some people say they're terrible. We machine the rims in house, so I mean, here again, just we wanted to try something different. If you show up with the same thing every night with everybody you're pulling against, it's hard to get away from everybody. So we run a 35-12-5 tire, and it's got to be a DOT deal. And like I say, a lot of guys still run the 16-inch stuff. We just discovered with the 20-inch tires, if dimensionally put a tape measure to them, they're a little bigger. So we thought, well, I don't know if bigger tires ever hurt anybody. So it takes a lot of difference. Like I say, in the tire pressure is a big thing with, just no different than anything else with pulling, you know what I mean? But we like to run the 20-inch stuff. We feel with the bigger footprint, it gives us a little bit of an advantage with the power levels that we have. But like I say, you could ask 20 people and get 20 different answers, but that's why our stuff looks a little different than everybody else's.
Randy, what do you got? You've been kind of quiet.
Oh no, I'm just taking it all in. There's a lot of great you had a lot of great questions that I was going to ask. I'm like, well, Logan's got this, man. We'll just let him run with it. A great diesel guy with a great blown with a blown mini. So let him talk about things. That's awesome.
I don't know much about
parts of the country. So yeah,
much of this diesel stuff. It's very interesting though. It's a lot less cut and paste than what some of the mini rod stuff is, most definitely. There's a lot of different things that you can tweak and change between motors and engine combinations. And then you have a couple more variables that you can play with. So it's definitely a very, very interesting class to really observe with all that.
No, like I say, in our class, we're one of the few classes that can run a mechanical engine or electronic engine. I think they're both good, and they're just different. It's just different flavor for everybody. And the common rail guys are very, very competitive, tough to beat. You know what I mean? The mechanical guys still hold their own, you know what I mean? But a lot of different combinations of V8s, inline sixes, electronic, mechanical. It's just big variety in our class of different things, and they all run good, and they're all very competitive.
No, when they first started, Eric, you guys didn't run coolers in the beginning, right? Or did you?
We were always water to air stuff, with the coolers, especially when we started running with Ohio State. That was always kind of a PPL stuff, you know what I mean? And
okay.
Just follow them guys, they already had the Midwest series going before we were running with state level,
right.
But you see the rules have just a lot of changes, not in a good way, but a lot of different changes for our class to, as it evolves, to keep everybody interested and keep everything safe and competitive with everything.
Right. That's what I was trying to think. If I couldn't remember when they came to Ohio Pulling, if you guys had coolers or not, but the coolers in the diesel world really changed the horsepower range and everything. Probably makes a big difference in your class, in your truck.
Yeah, I mean, a good cooler makes a big difference, and like I say, it lets us get away with doing some maybe different things where you're injecting water. You got to be more, I guess, on top of what things size and run and temperatures and whatnot, where you can get away with a lot by running a good water air intercooler in our classes to keep things from melting and keeping it good all season.
Yep, that's good. How many laps did you and your dad make this summer?
We were down a little bit this year. I think Dad told me we're in at 32, 35 passes this year. So a lot of years we kind of creep up around that 40 number. Hitting, like I say, we follow the points in the NTPA and then fill in with all our off nights to make sure we go to the OSTPA stuff, So and then try to make all the winter hooks that we can. Like I tell people for years, like I say, a lot of the stuff we do, our trucks are just rolling billboards. Some nights we look good, some nights we don't look so good, but we just, if you're there, try to interact with everybody, and it's always a good place to go pull.
Yeah. Well, like I said, I met you guys a long time ago, and we've chatted for years and years about lots of different things and just about life, and knowing a little bit about the machine shop, and you guys farm as well. So that's one great thing about the whole pulling community. You get to really get to know people and their background, and a lot of us are all the same. We just don't really know it until you come right out and ask it, But and Eric's not that far from me, Logan. Probably 45 minutes or so, I would guess.
Probably so.
We're pretty close. So
when he threw out that number of 40 passes, that's kind of baffling to me. Like going through a season, how well do those motors kind of take the punishment that you're throwing at them? Do you guys have those things apart once, twice a season, or will they withstand a full year's beating on?
Like you can say in our case, most winters, like I say, we're fortunate having the in-house dyno where we pull them out at the end of the year, put them a health check, put them through the dyno, but they'll make it a full season. There's a lot of I guess guys I pull with good friends that, they may have 100+ passes on their bullet, you know what I mean? And which is great, the reliability of that's the good thing about our class. I feel you can put together something that will be, it'll be very reliable. And like I say, I get a lot of help from a lot of good people, and to keep it living and keep it working. And it's, for us, like I say, I've known guys that make, more passes than I ever have in a season. And we, like I say, anymore, we're not as young as we used to be. So we're going to a few less events, but no, I say you can get a full season, no problem out of our stuff. You know what I mean? The more power we make, maybe that'll change, but right now, one season, 40 passes, yeah, we easily do that. You know what I mean? But it just depends. Like I say, it was a big learning curve for us building our own engines, how to do stuff. And like I say, we had a lot of help from a lot of people to help us do that. You know what I mean? So, but no, they're reliable. You can make laps and then they'll live.
Yeah, about when you're getting to that many passes, 20, somewhere in the 15 to 20, it's getting new bearings, and around that 40, you better have that thing all the way apart. Getting new rods in it, so.
We don't make the steam you guys do, so our stuff's a little more reliable.
Well, it definitely puts on a good show, whether it makes your kind of power or our kind of power. So that's always been something. I know there's no way possible because the motors are just so heavy, but implementing kind of like what Kevin Moore does with his 4-cylinder Cummins 4BT, but with a Cummins 6BT and a mini rod application, almost kind of like a diesel super motor, but those things weigh almost as much as our tractors themselves.
Sure. No, like I say, with our blocks being heavy, and it's just, like I say, for what we do, like I say, to try to keep that OE appearance, and it's the blocks have proven, pretty reliable at our power level. Sure, when they get to the diesel supers, those guys are way above what I ever do. You know what I mean? But they went to the, the billet blocks and whatnot, and they do some really neat stuff, But at our level, the OE castings are still holding up so far.
So, is there any plans to move up to a 3.6 Charger class, or even up into the big diesel supers?
It's a hotly debated topic at the shop.
Is that good, or is that good or bad debate, Eric?
We have some varying opinions of what we should be doing. It's not always a democracy, but it's been talked about. Like I say, we've been doing it, and we're starting to dip our toe into maybe jumping up into running the local super stock stuff with Ohio State, maybe to get our feet wet and, see how we like it, see if we do it, how to do it. You know what I mean? It's just like something new to us, you know what I mean? But it's really intriguing. The diesel super stock guys seem like they really got it figured out. They do a good job, put on a good show. You know what I mean? Just fear the unknown, try to build the steam that a lot of those guys do. I don't know if we can do. We'll try to do it in house. You know what I mean? But we'll have to see. But yes, it's been talked about moving up to the next level to see how it shakes out.
With your guys' trucks, can you kind of swap turbos around and jump between classes, or how's kind of the rule sets fit these trucks of yours?
Like with us with the 3.0 stuff, can we move up? Yeah, in principle, we could keep the basic long block, put a bigger pump, injectors, charger type of deal on, and bump up and run like a 3.6 or a super stock class. But moving down, no, because the open drive line and whatnot. But we can go. We are the bottom of what we can do with what we have. So we can go up to 3.6 or go to super stock, sure. But I like I say, the guys that are running super stock, that seems very involved in what they do and how they do it, and give them all the credit in the world. They do it, you know what I mean? But how to do there and be competitive and be reliable, that power level, I think it would take a lot more doing than what we're doing now.
Yeah. So that's interesting. I mean, you're only bumping up a charger a little bit over half an inch, but you have to go through and change so much with your fuel system and just the air delivery of it. So not talking specifics or anything, but how much boost do you guys put into a motor throughout a given pass?
Like I say, a lot of the turbos that we run currently built in house. So it's one of them where most passes we are in the, I don't know, let's say in the Michigan dirt where it's more sand, you'll be in the high 40s, let's say. Then you get into the Oak Harbors or, those type of tracks here in Ohio, you'll be mid to high 50s. Maybe if you pull the life out of it, you'll tickle 60 maybe, you know what I mean? Nothing like the big guys are running, it's relatively low boost in comparison, but like I say, I would say we live in that 40 to 60 pound boost window.
Okay, this has always been a pipe dream of mine, and you're kind of the guy to figure this out. The next question would be putting a standard root style supercharger onto a Cummins. How do we make that work?
I think it'd be a very interesting concept. I mean, I've always wondered the same thing of doing something like that and make it work, but I would only assume the drivability may be better than what we have. But I just think it'd be something that I've always wondered if you went that route instead of what we do, how it would turn out.
It's always kind of been perplexing to me with if you were to go that way, if you'd have to run a butterfly or do some other things like that to keep these motors under control. So that's always kind of been, I've asked my dad that question too many times just on our windshield time, going, what would really happen?
I've just got enough problems with what we're doing. I'd hate to try to figure it out here anytime soon.
So I know we talked about this a little bit, but going diesels in dark corners.
Sure.
What kind of went on with all that? Have you been down there in years past, and what's kind of
We've never made it down there. I think it's a good event. We've always, like you say, a bucket list event we've always wanted to go to. A lot of pulling friends tell me I should definitely go. It just, like Randy touched on earlier, we farm and we're running the shop. It just kind of makes it hard for us to kind of get away this time of year. We slated all of our free time to escape and go do things kind of in the summer when we're the polling season starts. But no, definitely one of the events that we definitely like to try to make it down to and participate in.
Yeah. So no, that's one. You can 100% correct me on that, but is that one of the biggest 3.0 hooks throughout the country, I believe?
Yeah, they do. Yeah, they have a lot of trucks. I want to say this year they had right at 40. I mean, it's a good event.
It was definitely a big class when we did the draw last Monday. So
yeah, it's probably, if not one of the biggest. Like I said, Scheid always brings a lot of trucks also, you know what I mean? But
have you been out to Scheid?
What's that?
You been out to Scheid a couple of times?
Yeah, multiple times. Like I say, same thing. It's a good event. Just no complaints. It just going out there, you get all the good trucks are there. You got to have something to do something there, and we've been fortunate that we've qualified for, the shows. Some nights we haven't, and I guess it goes around but it's definitely a good event out there.
Yep. So
No.
Eric, give me I'm pretty sure I know the event that seems to get you the worst. What event do you really want to win? The gift, there's always one event. I forget where Hertz is. Everybody has that event that they just want to go win so bad that it always kicks their ass to the moon and back.
I just want to win Enderley.
Enderley. I kind of knew this, but
I'm pretty open about it. It's been growing up, in
Yep.
Ohio. Enderley's a big deal to me. Maybe not a big deal to everybody, which is fair.
Oh.
You know what I mean? But
Oh,
it's something I want to do, and I feel like once we check that box, we can kind of move on to something else. But no, like I say, the Enderley for me, it would be number one, and then Saturday night at Scheid would be a big deal also if we could ever get out there, get the stars and moon to line, have a good enough bullet to do something with it. So, but no, those two there would definitely be the two that I want to do good at.
sure. Well, I kind of figured that we kind of chatted about it and laughed about it before, but I was pretty sure that and a lot of people don't understand what the Enderley really is, unless you're from Ohio, and
Mhm.
it's a big to do, that's for sure. But I was just curious if there was one that was bigger, or if it was just the Enderley that always got you. So, what's your favorite place to go pulling, Eric? Do you have one that you're like really go where you can really just hunker down and you're like, hey, we know we're gonna do well at,
We got a couple of them. With OSTPA, most favorite place on the planet to pull is Oak Harbor. That could be some really fun, good pulling there, good track. It just that place is awesome when it's done. And like I say, Greenville, Ohio would also be probably one of my most favorite places to go. It's just good environment, good track, good people. Like I say, just those two places are, I'd like to say my hometown fair at Tiffin, but it's hard to do good in front of the hometown crowd. You know what I mean? Type of deal. So,
Understood.
but we had a good flagman this year at Tiffin, so he told us where to drive. So
easy now, easy, easy. I'm like, who was?
You're going to
that
get
guy?
Randy in trouble at this rate.
Yeah. I don't remember who that guy was. Yeah, it's a lot of fun I get to do a lot of different wear a lot of different hats at Ohio. I think the only thing, I've announced and I've been the finished flagman and there's only a few things left for me to do and I've done them all there. But it's been a lot of fun for sure. Got to meet a lot of great people for sure. For sure. Absolutely.
No.
So looking in the next year, any big things on the horizon? What's kind of the plan going into this off season and then transitioning into next year's competition?
It's the same thing every winter. Like I tell people, I wish I could lie to them and tell them something more exciting other than we're always looking for power. In our class, is that the number one thing? I don't know. I guess it's the old saying, I'd rather have it and not need it, not have it. You know what I mean? But
sure.
For us, for next year, I could tell people every year it's the same thing. Find more power and try to be able to apply it the best we can, but next year, and again, make all the events we can make. I say when it comes time to go pulling, that's just kind of what we do. Not good, not bad. That's just what we do. So it's one of those where it's always exciting. I always tell Randy to go down to fair managers and see what events we get, how things work, where we're going, what we're doing. You know what I mean? For us, it's fun this time of year to try to do something per se, but next year probably make the same 30, 40 events and try to, just keep them moving. Like I say, we just like to go, like to be a part of it and support all the organizations we can all summer.
So, yeah. So do you think you guys might bolt on a couple more whistles and try to make some more power, or are you just going to try to stay with the 3.0s?
There's a rumor going around in our shop that one of them will have more turbos on it, and maybe just a big turbo on it to come run the Ohio State stuff with, the
I think we definitely figured out that a big whistle is not out of the options to run
Absolutely. Like I say, the guys at Ohio State are doing a great job with their class, and especially for us, it's very local. Like I say, with running the shop and farming, family life stuff, it's just hard to get away to run the Grand National level stuff. Pipe dream someday to do that, but you see, it'll probably start more on a local level with Ohio State stuff, and try to, get our feet wet there and get it ironed out.
Yeah, Dustin's put that one big whistle on, then he upped his whistle, but it's not quite as big as what Craig Dickey had on this weekend. But that one big whistle sure is making a run for it, isn't it? So
Oh man, like I say, the stuff that this diesel super guys are doing is just amazing with the power level they got and the turbo configurations, and to me, it's just wild how they manage all that power.
yeah,
Like I
and
say,
then
it's just fun to watch.
it is, and then like I said, the one big ones are really the drivability seems to be a little bit better at them, and man, they really are. They're making a lot of power, that's for sure.
Oh, absolutely, absolutely. It's like I say, it adds to the show. Like I say, that's the biggest thing I see. You know what I mean? They're just you start seeing guys moving 39, 40 mile an hour in a pickup like that gets your attention. It puts on a great show for everybody.
Sure.
The crowd likes it.
Yeah, for sure. For sure. Yeah, that's and then being the guy sitting in the back when the like when the minis get going in that high 30s, Logan knows you're really moving. You beat the guy in the back,
Yeah.
you're like, oh my, it's
Yes, absolutely.
in a pickup truck going 8,000 pounds going 42 miles an hour. You just hope that the stars are lining up when that hits the trip,
I think if Logan drove our stuff, he'd probably take a nap going down the track.
Oh,
Compared to what he's used to, you know what I mean? So
Oh,
it'd be a walk in the park for him.
no.
no. That's definitely moving, and even for a sled guy to make sure that you have it's just as important for the sled guy as it is for the puller to make sure that all their ducks are in a row, because 40 mile an hour is no slouch in 300 foot.
Like I say, this year at 42, the first event, we hit 35. That just felt like we were just rolling out at 35 mile an hour for us.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's probably the top. Is that the top end, Eric? 35, 36 for you guys? Is that
Yeah,
where
42 for this year for me on Josh's sled was as fast as we went. Like I say, I think I went 34.8 or 34.9 that night on the board.
Sure.
So,
yeah.
But for us, that was just rolling.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so you guys are just usually low 30s every night consistently.
Yeah, low 30s. Like I say, every once it would dip into high 20s, but normally in that 32 to 31 mile an hour window is kind of where we live a lot.
Yeah. And back in the day, we never even think, and not that many years ago, of back in the day, we thought if we could get to 30, man, we really did something. And well, now we're knocking on 40, like, oh.
Like I say, early years of OSTPA, we were in that 27, 28 mile an hour window when we first started pulling.
Sure. Understood. For sure.
Things have definitely progressed.
Absolutely, they have. They've really come a long way. That's for sure. So, but yeah, well, it was great talking with you, Eric, and thanks a bunch for coming on and filling us in on a lot of back history on the 3.0 class and a lot of things going on. What else you got, Log?
Well, that's about it. Let's get this rounded out. Chris wants to know before we run here, who's your polling hero, Eric?
Yeah.
It's kind of an odd question for me per se, because we kind of grew up we used to race Corvettes and different things when I was a kid. So for me, I'm kind of quote unquote new to the pulling scene. I've probably been doing it 10, 12 years, you know what I mean? But I wouldn't say I have a hero, but I really, the people that we have that we pull with that I look up to, a lot of really good guys in our class that have helped me more than they'll ever know. And, just a wealth of knowledge. And, I guess I would say the hero I have are just the guys that we pull with. They're just, all of them are good guys, and everybody works hard to try to put on a good show.
No, that 100%. That's my hands down favorite thing about pulling is the family and all the guys behind it. That's what makes pulling the sport that it really is.
Absolutely.
So, but no, I think it's been an amazing night tonight, Randy. I think we talked some really good stuff, and I definitely learned a lot.
Yeah. I do. I learned something. I always say if I didn't learn something today, I didn't stay up late enough, but we all know that I'm not afraid to stay up pretty late. So,
You know, this Eastern time zone stuff, this is weird stuff. I don't like it.
yeah. What's Dan Mayer say? This is real time. Is that what Dan Mayer
The
says?
real time,
This
the
is real
future.
time.
No,
This is
this is out of my element.
yeah. Logan's usually an hour behind us, Eric, out there in Kansas, you know. So
No, like I say, it's over here. It gets dark before you know it now this time of year.
yeah, for sure. Yeah, Sunday we get to do the old fall back, you know. So it'll be
Oh
at
yeah, that's coming up.
4:30. We'll be turning the headlights on.
Absolutely.
What the hell?
Yes.
It'll be
yes.
fun. It'll be fun to go to work. Well, we do that anyhow. We go to work with our headlights and we come home with our headlights.
Go to
Doesn't
work when it's
matter
dark,
what
come
time.
home when it's dark.
Yeah, it doesn't matter what time it is. It's always dark.
Lights are
All right.
always on in the shop, so it doesn't matter.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Hey, it was great talking
No.
with you, Eric. Thanks a bunch. I really, really appreciate it. And
Absolutely.
have a good. Tell your dad, and you know, I always enjoy talking with your dad and your uncle. Tell them guys hello tomorrow at the office, and
Will do.
we'll let you go. Thanks a bunch.
All right. Appreciate it, guys.
Yep. Thank you. Bye bye.
Thank you, Eric. What a great show.
It was fun. It was good. It was a good night for sure. When did you so just to back up a little bit, when did you guys leave for Indy then?
We left out this morning at good old 7:00 actual time.
Actual time? Okay. Actual 7 o'clock. So we had been to work
No.
for a couple hours in real time, but that's okay.
I know.
So
No, we rolled out of there, hauled it across Missouri, and got here probably would have been 5:00 this time or so. So,
sure.
no, we made good time.
Sounds about right. Yeah. So yeah, you probably drove across the great I-70 all the way, huh?
Oh, phenomenal ice.
Yeah. What a highway there, you know. So
No kidding.
wow. Yeah. You just
So
have to-
what's Randy doing this coming week?
This we are actually we thought we were pretty well we had all of our crops off, but 300 acres of double crops, and the neighbor guy called me, and so I went and cut 100 acres of beans for him today, and he's got another 85 or 90 tomorrow. We're going to try to help everybody get done before this big rain on the weekend, and then maybe next week we can be ready to cut my double crops. And we got trucks rolling around. We got one going to Pittsburgh tomorrow, and one going to Detroit tomorrow. And then I got a couple hauling grain and a couple hauling rocks. So pizza shop chick, she's got office work to do. So we got just the usual load, just just Randy doing Randy things.
Yep.
So when do you so you say you have some competition this week? When does that
Yep.
when does that kick in for you?
Our competitions for vet science kicks off Wednesday this week. So we're studying hard, and yeah, definitely we put in a lot of long hours, so we're hoping for the best.
I hope so. Well, good luck at that. Hopefully you guys will get a W, that's for sure,
Yeah.
So was there 3 on a team or 4 on a team?
So there's 4 of us, and we're put into a team, and it's figure out what's wrong with your animal, Randy. So I know you're fond of your cats.
Oh
So
yes. Yeah. Stuart
even though I'm an engineering major, I should be able to figure out what's up with your cat.
he's just like his owner, the pizza shop chick. He's a little moody.
Wow.
He's a little moody, but he'll be okay. So that'll be good.
That's awesome.
That's exciting. Then you guys will go. So when is the big awards thing, on Saturday, or is that on Friday?
I believe awards actually for our competition, it's earlier. I think they have 5 general sessions, and we're on a session on, I think Thursday would actually end up being our awards day. But no, we're going to be out here till Friday.
Oh, that's good.
So any y'all around, if you can spot me in the other 100,000 blue corduroy jackets out here, I'm
Yeah.
one of them. So
Well, I remember back in the day, we used to go when we were Champions Tour pulling, when Frank won the Super Stock points and Jeff won a couple of them Super Stock championships. That the PPL, the Champions Tour banquet would have been, it'd be Saturday night. So all the VOAG or all the FFA guys were just leaving and we were just coming in there and like,
yeah,
oh my, this
boy,
is a
that would have
hand-
worked out phenomenal.
Yeah, that was a handful. You know, we get out there, we have a bunch of tractor pullers hadn't seen each other in a month or so. So they were all ready to hoop it up, and then you walk in there, you're like, oh no, we're gonna have to wait for a little bit while until we get all these kids out of here, you know. So it was a lot of fun.
No.
For sure. That was back
I've
when
yet to
we'd go with Swearingen, you know,
find
from
it,
Missouri.
but I need to take some time and go find old Boyd's tractor out here in Lucas Oil Stadium, take a couple pictures with it. So
Oh
that's
yeah.
my task for the weekend.
I don't even remember which one that is, the Green Streak. It I think that's
It would have been their
eight-
second pro stock, maybe in that
8400 maybe, or 8410 or something. I don't remember. But
something.
I've seen it. We've been over there a few times. We've seen it a couple times, but I forget. It's been a while now that the banquet is in Louisville. So yeah, we'll be down there to get. Well, that's when Susie and I'll see you next. We'll actually
Yeah.
see you. We'll see you at the banquet. When are you guys going down there? Thursday, Friday, something like that?
Yeah, we're gonna make a couple stops at some engine builders on the way down, and
Okay.
then we're gonna roll in there Thursday night. Hopefully, maybe hit up. We'll do some nice dinner, maybe Spaghetti Factory or something Thursday night. That's a nice brisk walk from the hotel there, and then we'll just kick off the festivities of bringing a great year to the end of it.
Yeah, it'll be fun. I'm sure that we'll. Yeah, we sat there with you and Van and Patty and everybody there. Was it last year? And Craig and Cindy Sage. We sat there till wee hours of the morning laughing about things.
It was late, and that was back when Randy was that guy that I didn't know his name, but I know that guy.
Yeah. We were all laughing about stuff, and yeah, it's always a good time for sure.
Oh, 100%. No,
For sure.
It's been awesome doing this with you. I appreciate all that you do. So
no, I appreciate you guys. It's an honor to be on here, and it's a lot. And I've explained to people it's a lot of work to do it right and to be good at this. I mean, I give you guys credit, give you kudos. I mean, it takes a lot of energy to make this thing happen, and more so than people realize, you know. So, but I really appreciate it. That's for sure. Trying to do our best. That's for sure. So
yeah. So
try not to let anybody down.
No, you do a phenomenal job. But I think on that note, it's getting late out here. I'm not used to this. It's only 9 o'clock back home, but boy, does it feel later than that.
Oh, absolutely. Hey, it was great seeing you, Logan. And guess we might as well wrap her up, hon. I'm sure we'll talk with the big guy maybe this week, see what his plan of attack is, and we'll go from there.
Yep.
So
We'll bring on some more people, talk some more great polling, and we will see you guys back 7:30 Central, like every other Monday. See y'all and have a great rest of your week.
Absolutely.
Today. Let's talk about today.
If you're at a national state level, you have to run non-sales, wholesale.
Is like 9,000.
The only mistake I made, I didn't put a rate in the registration movement.
Just this ever-evolving story. And